Hello and welcome back, my incredible AP Insight family. Abby Phillip here. The House Democrats on the Oversight Committee have just dropped another batch of material tied to Jeffrey Epstein. This time, it's not stacks of financial ledgers or explosive correspondence. It's visual evidence straight from his notorious private retreat in the Caribbean, the place everyone calls Epstein Island. Investigators and authorities released more than 150 photographs, along with several video clips capturing the sprawling estate on Little St. James. Viewers get a clear look at the exteriors, the pool deck, interior bedrooms, bathrooms, and common areas. Among the images are framed pictures showing Epstein alongside Ghislaine Maxwell, including one striking shot of the pair with the late Pope John Paul II. Consider that for a moment. The man at the center of what prosecutors described as one of the most extensive underage sex trafficking operations in modern history managed to secure a personal audience with one of the most revered figures in global religion. What does that say about access, influence, and the circles Epstein moved in? Who facilitated that meeting, and why has it taken so long for the public to see it? This latest disclosure doesn't deliver courtroom-ready smoking guns. No fresh indictments leap out from these files, but it does expose something equally disturbing: the sheer dilapidation and oddity of a billionaire's supposed paradise. For someone with unlimited resources, the place looks shockingly neglected. Common living spaces appear run down, almost like a budget vacation rental left to decay. Forget the hidden chambers allegedly used for abuse. Even the everyday rooms raise immediate questions about priorities and taste. Take one photograph of what seems to be a library or study. 4 oversized armchairs sit crammed together in a tight circle, facing inward with almost no space between them. A chalkboard looms behind, scrawled with terms like power, deception, plots, music, and political, among other partially obscured words. What kind of brainstorming session produces that list in a private home? Was this a casual jotting or evidence of calculated discussions about control and manipulation? And why arrange seating so awkwardly that any movement, reclining, shifting, standing, would turn the room into a collision course? It defies basic comfort or functionality. Did no one on staff ever suggest adding a central table for practicality? Another angle shows the same blackboard more clearly, reinforcing the eerie vibe. Words that evoke conspiracy, influence, and intellectual maneuvering sit casually in what should be a place for relaxation. If this was meant to impress guests, scientists, academics, world leaders, why does it feel so amateurish and unsettling? Then there's the room that stops people cold, a setup featuring a full dental chair positioned prominently, surrounded by walls lined with lifelike masks depicting men's faces in various expressions. The sight alone sends chills. In any ordinary context, dental equipment belongs in a clinic, not a tropical villa. Yet records and sources close to the investigation indicate this chair was installed for one of Epstein's romantic partners, a European woman pursuing dentistry studies. She apparently used it for practice or treatment. Pause and absorb that. A girlfriend training in oral medicine gets her own specialized setup on a remote island compound infamous for exploitation. What kind of relationship dynamic allows that? And how does it square with the broader pattern of young women and girls being brought to the property under false pretenses? Even if this particular detail has a mundane explanation, the optics remain profoundly disturbing. Everything associated with Epstein carries an undercurrent of predation. Ordinary objects twist into something sinister simply by proximity. These images, captured around 2020 by U.S. Virgin Islands authorities after Epstein's death, form part of a broader push for transparency. Democrats on the committee emphasize releasing them to shine light on the environment where crimes allegedly occurred, pressuring federal agencies to follow through on full disclosures. But the real headline grabber in recent weeks has been the massive document dump from the Justice Department itself. Millions upon millions of pages, over 3 million in the latest batch alone, have flooded public view under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, a measure signed into law late last year. Videos, images, emails, investigative summaries, the volume is staggering. Yet what emerges from this deluge? Repeated cycles of hype followed by disappointment. Names surface, Donald Trump mentioned thousands of times, Bill Clinton appearing in photos and travel logs, Elon Musk exchanging messages about potential visits, Howard Lutnick admitting proximity but claiming swift cutoff, Larry Summers, Bill Gates, Prince Andrew, and others. Emails hint at social plans, party invitations, travel coordination. Musk, for instance, reportedly inquired about events on the island around holidays, expressing interest in letting loose away from family obligations. Epstein responded with assurances about the company present, no one over 25, all attractive. Musk has pushed back forcefully, denying any improper involvement and stating he had no need for Epstein's facilitation if seeking companionship. Still, the exchanges linger, especially given Epstein's pattern of dangling access to exclusive circles. Lutnick's account stands out for its contradictions. He described encountering a massage table in Epstein's home, receiving an unsettling invitation for the right kind of massage, and deciding with his wife to avoid the man entirely after walking just a few steps between residences in New York. Yet subsequent records indicate attempted contacts and meetings well after that supposed clean break. How does one reconcile the public revulsion with private persistence? Clinton appears repeatedly in images and logs, sometimes in relaxed settings that invite speculation. Gates' faces mentions tied to health initiatives gone wrong or personal indiscretions alleged in passing. None of these connections have produced new criminal charges against the named individuals. Prosecutors long ago focused on Epstein and Maxwell as the primary operators, portraying a vast network as essentially their personal enterprise. Is that credible? A multi-million-dollar international operation relying on just two people at the top strains belief. Intelligence ties, rumors of Mossad or KGB involvement, float persistently, yet official releases avoid confirming any state-level orchestration. Victims' accounts describe recruitment, coercion, and protection from consequences. Yet, accountability remains elusive for those in the orbit. Trump's name dominates mentions, often in neutral or historical context from years past. He has insisted on a falling out long before Epstein's final arrest, calling him distasteful and denying knowledge of crimes. The files include unsubstantiated tips and allegations compiled by investigators, some recycled rumors, others unverified claims, but no direct evidence of wrongdoing on his part ties to the core trafficking. The pattern repeats, endless documents, photo after photo, name after name, yet prosecutions stall beyond the already convicted. Prince Andrew lost titles and settled civilly, but criminal pursuit evaporated. Others walk free, reputations dented but intact. What does this tell us about justice in America? When power, wealth, and connections intersect with allegations this grave, the system appears engineered to protect rather than punish. The DOJ churns out pages while prioritizing other enforcement, immigration raids, border security, over digging deeper into elite networks that enabled abuse for decades. The real protected zone isn't a Midwestern municipality offering shelter to migrants. It's the invisible fortress surrounding billionaires, politicians, and celebrities who associate with figures like Epstein without consequence. Fly on the plane, visit the properties, exchange favors, then claim ignorance or distance when scrutiny arrives. These latest visuals from the island compound force the question again: how much more evidence is needed before real accountability arrives? Or is the release itself the deflection? Drown the public in details so the absence of justice feels normalized. Hello and welcome back, my incredible AP Insight family. Abby Phillip here.